So we need to understand the proper way of working with obstacle. Tenemos que comprender la manera correcta de trabajar con obstáculo. And specifically, we need to understand how to bring that obstacle to the path. En concreto, tenemos que comprender cómo llevar el obstáculo al camino. How do we relate to obstacle from the standpoint of meditation? ¿Cómo nos relacionamos con el obstáculo desde el punto de vista de la meditación? And so the key in working with obstacles is that they must be de-solidified. Okay? La clave en trabajar con obstáculos es quitarle solidez. And what makes an obstacle is the fact that something that is naturally fluid and open has become solid and fixed. This is a really key point. This is the insight that helps to dismantle the whole apparatus of obstacle. Okay? You have to understand that when you're trapped in something, that thing that you're trapped in has become solid. It's become like a prison. And the nature of reality is not solid. Es muy importante comprender esto, que cuando estamos atrapados en algo, es porque hay una solidificación de algo que es intrínsecamente fluido. In other words, water has become ice. Otra manera de comprenderlo es que el agua se ha convertido en hielo. So ice temporarily is solid, but its nature is not solid. Its nature is liquid. It appears solid, it feels solid, it seems solid, but when you bring it into contact with heat, it returns to its original state. ¿No? El agua cuando está congelado aparece sólido, pero cuando lo combines con el calor, vuelve a su estado original. And so when the obstacle is met with the right kind of awareness, it loses its solidity and returns to its original fluid state. Cuando el obstáculo se encuentra con el calor de la conciencia, pierde su solidez y vuelve a su estado fluido. Right? For example, there's this saying that fear is excitement without the breath. Hay un dicho que dice que el miedo es excitación sin respiración. So in other words, when fear starts to feel heavy, solid, unworkable, there's a kind of like, there's a freezing process that takes place in relationship to the emotion. Cuando el miedo empiece a parecer pesado, impenetrable, hay una solidificación de esa energía. Es por eso que se dice que el miedo es excitación sin respiración. In other words, that fluid, open, liquid quality of all feeling, of all emotion, of all existence has been lost. Esa cualidad líquida, fluida de toda emoción, de toda existencia se ha perdido. And in that moment of solidifying reality, that's when things become problematic. En este momento de solidificar la realidad, es en este momento en lo cual tenemos problemas. Because all feelings, all emotions, in their essence, are bliss. Okay? I want you to write this down. All feelings, in their essence, are bliss. Todas sensaciones, todas emociones, en su esencia, son éxtasis. So as we start to get closer to our true nature, all feelings manifest with this kind of quality of ecstatic beatitude. Cuando nos acercamos a nuestra esencia, todos sentimientos se manifiestan con una cualidad de beatitud extático. But that's not because we bypass them. that's because we've transformed them. No es porque los hemos trascendidos, es porque lo hemos transformados. And so to understand this transformative process, it's important to understand how to desolidify the obstacle. Para comprender ese proceso de liberación, es importante comprender cómo desolidificar el obstáculo. We have to understand what makes something solid. Tenemos que comprender qué hace que una experiencia interna o externa se solidifique. Once we understand that, then we can begin to work with the obstacle on the inner plane. Instead of running around like mad people trying to fix it on the outer level, right? Which is what most people do. Una vez que entendemos el proceso de cómo nace un obstáculo y cómo desolidificarlo, podemos empezar a trabajarlo al nivel interno en lugar de golpearnos la cabeza en la pared intentando buscar soluciones externas. Because obstacles are going to continue to come because they have actually nothing to do with the outer and they have everything to do with the inner. Los obstáculos van a seguir viniendo porque no tienen que ver con lo externo, tienen que ver con nuestro estado de conciencia. Right? One person's obstacle is another person's bliss. What's problematic for another person is liberating for another. Lo que es problemático por una persona es liberador para otra. Right? Because the state of consciousness is different, porque el estado de conciencia es diferente. So every obstacle, outer and inner, is pointing us towards something within ourselves that's asking for our attention. Todos los obstáculos externos y internos nos indica hacia algo que necesita nuestra atención. And if you live your life that way, you will never, ever, ever be a victim. Si vives de esa manera, jamás vais a ser víctimas. Incluso de la muerte, even in death. Because you understand that as a natural process, right? Porque lo entendés como un proceso natural. My mom used to say, death, don't be frightened of it, be confident in it. Mi madre siempre ha dicho, la muerte, que no tengáis miedo de la muerte, que tengáis confianza en ella. No? And so there's a certain shift of consciousness that can take place in which we see everything as an indication of the ways in which we need to continue our journey as spiritual warriors, the evolution of consciousness. Una manera de vivir en lo cual percibimos todo lo que sucede como una indicación de la manera en lo cual tenemos que seguir evolucionando. It's never the world's fault. And at the end of the day, it's not our parents' fault, even though we talk a lot about that in psychology, right? It's actually nobody's fault. Al final del día, no es la culpa del mundo. Tampoco es la culpa de nuestros padres, aunque lo hablamos mucho en psicología. De hecho, nadie tiene la culpa. And when you start to embrace this perspective that every obstacle is a reflection of something within, and every obstacle can be worked with, it becomes extremely liberating. Cuando empezáis a coger esa perspectiva, que cada obstáculo nos indica hacia adentro y cada obstáculo puede ser trabajado, es extremadamente liberador.